Isn't it funny how you just don't hear about any of this information until it's dug for? Hi guys, Rod here. We've got another little ditty for you. Sticking with the UFO theme because I quite like this and it's something that's close. Because as you know, and I've said before, I've had quite a couple of free sightings in my time. Yeah, this one is called 5 Alien Encounters Witnessed by Government officials who broke the secret. So this is from allegedly what they class as people that can be trusted, because that's what they keep telling us, because obviously we're not to be trusted and we just make it up. So these are incredible witnesses, so these are okay, credible witnesses. Alright, so we'll start that in a second. For all those of you who are new to the channel, please subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification button in the corner to make sure you see all upcoming videos. And don't forget, if you want to leave anything below in the comments, please do so. And please give me some thumbs up if you like it, or even if you don't like it. Alright, so without no further ado, we'll get on with it, because like I said, I do like these. Right, here we go.
The first sightings occurred in November 1944, when pilots flying over Germany by night reported seeing fast-moving, round, glowing objects following their aircraft. The objects were variously described as fiery and glowing red, white, or orange. Some pilots described them as resembling Christmas tree lights and reported that they seemed to toy with the aircraft, making wild turns before simply vanishing. Pilots and aircrew reported that the objects flew in formation with their aircraft and behaved as if under intelligent control, but never displayed hostile behavior. The phenomenon was so widespread that the lights earned a name. In the European theater of operations, they were called Kraut fireballs, but for the most part called Foo Fighters. The military took the sightings seriously, suspecting that the mysterious sightings might be secret German weapons, but further investigation revealed that German and Japanese pilots have reported similar sightings. To this day, it is completely unexplained and officially listed as unidentified flying objects. Could this have been a case of alien contact? No one has
any plausible explanation. Funny how you just don't hear about any of this information until it's dug for.
Number 4, the Rendlesham Forest UFO encounter. This stunning case of alien contact has been dubbed Britain's Roswell. The Rendlesham Forest incident, which took place in December 1980, continues to fascinate UFO enthusiasts and conspiracy theorists around the world. It is one of the most stunning encounters, and it has been better documented than most cases. In the early hours of December 26, 1980, U.S. military personnel spotted strange lights above Rendlesham Forest in England. One of these men, John Burroughs, accompanied by his superior and one other individual, went to investigate the blue, red, orange, and white lights. In his subsequent witness statement published in 1981, Burroughs explains, "As we went down to the East Gate Road and the road that leads into the forest, the lights were moving back and they appeared to stop in a bunch of trees. Also, the woods lit up and you could hear the farm animals making a lot of noises. There was a lot of movement in the woods. All three of us hit the ground, and whatever it was started moving back towards the open field."
Now, you would think, wouldn't you? Seriously, you'd think. The bloke had made a statement that had all been written out, and there seems to be other witnesses as well. You'd have thought in 1980 this would have hit the market like it was going out of fashion. But yeah, I know it was mentioned and things like that, but soon forgot about. Do you know what I mean? So it's the same old story, isn't it? Cover up, cover up, cover up.
We got up to the fence that separated the trees from the open field. You could see the lights down by the farmer's house. We climbed over the fence and started walking towards the red and blue lights, and they just disappeared. Jim Penniston, who accompanied Burroughs into Rendlesham Forest on December 26, claims to have encountered a craft covered in hieroglyphic-like characters. I estimated it to be about 3 meters tall and about 3 meters wide at the base. Penniston later
Not very
explained,
big.
no landing gear was apparent, but it seemed like she was on fixed legs. I moved a little closer. I had already taken all 36 pictures of my roll of film. I walked around the craft, and finally I walked right up to the craft. I noticed the fabric of the shell was more like a smooth, opaque black glass. Jim Penniston claims to have had a sort of download of binary code direct to his mind upon touching the hieroglyphs on this craft. Was it some sort of ancient alien craft, much like the Black Knight satellite? Whatever they witnessed, it has stayed with them every day from that moment to the present. Their lives were never the same again. In at number 3 on our list, Paul Heller. Paul Heller is a former defense minister that has accused world leaders of concealing the presence of aliens here on Earth. He was the Canadian minister in charge of defense from 1963 to 1967.
Now, how more credible do you want than that? He was the Minister of Defence, for Christ's sake, in Canada. So let's see what he's got to say for himself. Is he more for yes or more for no or more for cover-up? Let's find out.
Claims to have been in the presence of extraterrestrial beings during this time. Paul is now urging world leaders to release hidden data on UFOs. He claims that the aliens have been visiting our planet for thousands of years and are unimpressed with how we live. The former Canadian defense minister declared on Russian TV that aliens were walking among us, but he said that they were refusing to share their advanced technologies until we change our polluting and warring ways. He told Russia's Today program Sofiko there are 80 different species of extraterrestrials, some of whom look just like
80.
us, and they could walk down the street and you wouldn't know if you walked past one. In
I've
the
always
bizarre
said
interview,
that,
Heller made a series of pronouncements about
proving
aliens,
it.
which grew increasingly outlandish and sounded closer to the plot of a sci-fi movie. We have a long history of UFOs, and of course there has been a lot more activity in the last few decades since we invented the atomic bomb, he said.
There you
It
go.
affects not just us, but other people in the cosmos. They're very much afraid that we might be stupid enough to start using atomic weapons again, and this would be very bad for us and for them as well.
And at number 2, Phil Snyder, another jaw-dropping case of a government official who just had enough of the secrecy. For 2 years prior to his apparent assassination, Philip Schneider had been on a lecture tour
Apparent assassination. Was it from somebody who's a crackpot? Or was it from one of these nice sharpshooters, CIA, I don't know, whatever they are in America, that run the country? Let's find out.
talking about government cover-ups, black budgets, and UFOs. Phil stated in his lecture that in 1954, under the Eisenhower administration, the federal government decided to circumvent the Constitution and form a treaty with extraterrestrials. The treaty was called the 1954 Greada Treaty. Officials agreed that for extraterrestrial technology, the Watchers could test their implanting techniques on select citizens. However, the extraterrestrials had to inform the government just who had been abducted and subject to implants. But slowly over time, the aliens altered the bargain, abducting and implanting thousands of people without reporting back to the government. In
I don't need
1979,
to.
Phil was employed by the Morrison Knudsen Corporation. He was involved in building an addition to the deep underground military base at Dulce, New Mexico. The project at that time had drilled 4 holes in the desert that were to be linked together with tunnels. Philip's job was to go down the holes, check the rock samples, and recommend the explosives to deal with the particular rock. In the process, the workers accidentally opened a large artificial cavern, a secret base for the aliens known as the Greys. In the panic that occurred, 67 workers and military personnel were killed, with Phil Snyder being one of only 3 people to survive. Phil claimed
Credible witness or not? I mean, all them amount of people killed and nothing's been said. You know, they must have all had families and everything. So, I don't know. Truth or false? I don't know. You tell me.
The scars on his chest were
This is a
caused
bit of
by
a
his
mind
being
bender.
struck by an alien weapon. If Philip Snyder's claims are true, then his knowledge of the secret government, UFOs, and other information kept from the public could have serious repercussions to the world as we know it. In his lecture, Philip spoke on such topics as the Space Defense Initiative, black helicopters, railroad cars built with shackles to contain political prisoners, the World Trade Center bombing, and the secret black budget. At one of his lectures in 1995, Phil eerily had to say, "Recently, I knew someone who lived near where I live in Portland, Oregon. He worked at Gunderson Steel Fabrication, where they make railroad cars. Now, I knew this fellow for the better part of 30 years, and he was kind of a quiet type. He came in to see me one day excited, and he told me they're building prisoner cars. He was nervous." Gunderson, he said, had a contract with the federal government to build 107,200 full-length railroad cars, each with 143 pairs of shackles. There are 11 subcontractors in this giant project. Supposedly, Gunderson got over $2 billion
would
for
they
the
be wanting to
contract.
build that?
Bethlehem Steel
Unless there's
and
some
other
reason
steel outfits
for
are
it.
involved. He showed me one of the cars in the railroad yard in North Portland. He was right. If you multiply 107,200 times 143 times 11, you come up with about 15 million. This is the number of people who disagree with the federal government. And at number 1, the most famous case of them all, the Roswell UFO incident. On the 8th of July 1947, the Roswell Daily Record newspaper published a front-page
This
article with
is
the
what
headline,
started every
RAAF captures flying
solitary
saucer on
UFO
ranch in Roswell
sighting
region.
off,
And the legend of
and
America's most famous
has
brush
kept
with
it
aliens
going.
was born. Today,
So-
many conspiracy theorists consider the so-called Roswell incident to be one of the most conspicuous pieces of evidence that the U.S. government has covered up the existence of extraterrestrial life on Earth. But the Roswell story's position in
them
the
days, it
public
wasn't so
imagination
easy
was
to
far
cover
from
up as what it
immediate.
is now.
For 31 years, the story was largely forgotten until the National Enquirer reported the original Roswell Daily Record story again. Following the publications of the new story, theories suggested that the government's incomplete account had been an attempt to cover the discovery of an alien spacecraft began to take root. Several people claimed to have seen debris scattered over a wide area, and at least one person reported seeing a blazing aircraft in the sky shortly before it crashed. But the key account came from a former mortician, Glenn Dennis, who claimed that in 1989 that a friend who worked as a nurse at the Roswell Army
Incredible.
Airfield had accidentally walked into an examination room where doctors were bent over the bodies of 3 creatures. They apparently resembled humans, but with small bodies.
Now, we know that's either fake or fiction because we've heard so much about this. But think back to what that bloke said. That craft was, what was it? Was it 9 meters by 9 meters or something like that? Now look how small they are. You think 9 meters by 9 meters? I mean, they're no more bigger than a small child. So if that's the case, then them two lock in together. The size of the alien and the size of the craft makes sense when you think about it. Just my opinion. Let me know below what you think.
Spindly arms, and giant bald heads. In 1995, Ray Santilli, a London-based entrepreneur, released footage of an alien autopsy performed in Roswell in 1947. Experts immediately ridiculed the footage as a hoax, and he admitted that it was almost entirely fake. Nevertheless, Santilli insisted real footage existed, but due to its poor condition, he had been forced to recreate it. Critics have questioned the validity of various witnesses and pointed out that many claims over the years have come from friends of friends who supposedly saw something out of the ordinary. Still, many people continue to embrace the UFO theory, and
Chinese
hundreds of
whispers is what
curiosity
they're trying
seekers
to
visit
say.
Roswell and the crash site every year. The Roswell incident remains the most popular UFO alien encounter of all time. So there you have it, 5 incidents of UFO and aliens that the world governments would rather you didn't know about. We hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for watching, and remember,
Well, we
the
do
ways
now,
by which
don't we?
arrive at knowledge are hardly less
Well,
wonderful
do we
than the
believe or
discovery
do
of
we
these
not?
things themselves.
Do we believe or do we not? Well, I'm obviously still a believer because only from what I've seen. I mean, I don't believe in nothing until I've seen it with my own eyes. And I have, or I think I have. Yeah. I mean, the bloke has been assassinated. They look like rather nasty chest wounds on his chest as well. Who knows? Like I say, we weren't there, so... Trouble is, of all the millions of people that have had sightings, including myself, and probably quite a lot of you as well, are we all liars? Are we all mistaken in what we saw? I mean, how many of you have seen these things and you believe it to be that? A UFO? Like I said to you before, UFO is an unidentified flying object. If it's in the sky and we don't know what it is, that's unidentified. But the speeds that these fly at, come on, we've got nothing on this earth that can move that fast. Anyway, off the soapbox again. Hope you enjoyed that. You be safe, alright? Like I said before, keep your eyes up in the clouds of a night time, obviously, or during the day, depends on when it is. Especially when it's cloudy, because that's when you're more liable to see something than not, because they can go in and out of the clouds. Anyway, you take care. See you next time. Bye. I hope you enjoyed that. Just going to do a little quick message now for all you people that might have some videos that you'd like me to react to. Please send them to me. All you got to do is go onto the copy bit, copy it, and then paste it onto my email address right there. And I'll come straight through to me without any problems at all. Alright, and obviously because of legalities, if I can do them, I will definitely do them. Alright, and I will pre-warn you first that I'm going to be doing them as well, okay? So, yeah, if you've got any that you'd like me to react to, just send them to that email address, okay? Alright, don't forget, if you old or new to this channel and you've not subscribed yet, please do so. Don't forget to press the notification button in the corner, and also don't forget to leave comments below. You like the video, that's the previous video there, okay? Just press on it and you can go back to that one, and so on for all of them. Yeah, okay, so you look after yourselves and I'll see you later. Bye.